So just to recap a little bit, so you had a life-changing event, a life-saving event,
Yes.
where Swami saved your life, and your relationship, your connection with Swami, your understanding of Swami changed after that experience of Swami saving you from death.
Yes. So after that second life given by Swami, or my new life that Swami has started with me, that is the beginning of my beautiful journey with Swami, and I'm so grateful even for that sickness. I think that moment when Swami said not now, and he pushed me or touched my soul, literally touched my soul, I think that's the journey when it really started with me and Swami. My beautiful journey with Swami started. After 3 days or so, I was really back home, and this time the fever was contained, and I was on the recovery path. But during my days in the hospital, every night he would come in my dream. The doctor would say something in the morning, saying, "Oh, she has water in her lungs, and we need to drill or do some procedure to take it out." But then Swami would come in the dream, and he would be, and the dream would be, I'm drowning somewhere. I would see Swami's hand picking me up. Again, just the hand, not the form yet. And then he would pull me out. The next day, doctors would come, and before doing a procedure, they would do an X-ray. There's no water, and we know what happened. So my mom was like not even trusting on these doctors anymore. She's like, yeah, they can say anything, but you'll be fine with Vibhuti. So that was a given now. After 3 or 4 days, I was really fine, and we got back home. From that month or that day onwards, I developed the habit of writing letters to Swami. So my letters to Swami were initially full of gratitude, saying thank you for saving my life, with whatever understanding I had at that point in time. And then slowly, we fall in the Maya world, and instead of saying thank you to Swami, my letters were like, okay, Swami, now that we are having this exam and I have not studied enough, what can we do? And how can you make me, pass this exam? Or this is the marks I'm looking for, so what can you do? To the extent of saying, hey, come on, or even reading my letters, So it was very demanding, and I would call it as being close to Swami, because those were the best days of my interaction with Swami. I could write anything without any inhibition of even thinking, saying, oh my God, he's Swami, can I write it to him like that? No, he was my savior, he was my Lord, and it is upon him to listen to me, even if it doesn't make sense, and he has to come and answer me. That faith, that conviction was always there, and it's just his grace. So I would write postcards, the Indian postcards, if people remember, the yellow ones, and I would say, please give, on the top of it, I would say, please give it to Swami, like hand it over personally, and completely with the faith and assumption that whoever is, the postman who's delivering it is actually going to go and give it to Swami. I had no idea how the things work in Parthi, because I have never seen Swami physically until then. So I would write letters, and in the letters it would be like, oh, thank you, Swami, for saving my life. Well, that's done now, so let's come back to the actual things that I want you to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. This happened, and then my mom said, okay, it's about time we go and express our gratitudes to Swami who saved you and gave you a life. So we went to Bangalore, and we went to Parthi actually in the month of September or October of 1995. And he was not there, he was in Bangalore, so we went to Bangalore. And that's the first time I saw Swami, this beautiful physical form. And it was blissful. When I saw him for the first time, I did not hear, oh my God, this is Swami, Lord, nothing like that. Okay, yeah, I know him, So I knew that, okay, this is it. My connection with Swami is set for this lifetime, and absolutely feel grateful for that. It's his grace. And then stayed there for 3 days or so, and we came back to my hometown. And that night Swami came in my dream, and I was asking him, I said, Swami, do you know I even came to Bangalore to see you? That attitude I had. And Swami said, if I'm not in Parthi, you don't have to come to Bangalore. If I'm not in Bangalore, you don't have to go to Kodai. Wherever you are, just look at my picture and tell me that, hey, Swami, this is my problem, or this is what I want from you. I'm always listening. So that to me was the biggest message. So what we all think of, right? I mean, for those who have not seen Swami physically, I think that's one of the biggest thing I keep reiterating myself and to my kids also, that Swami is just not that beautiful form. I know we miss that, we all miss that. There's absolutely no differentiation between the picture here And the Swami we saw physically there, and we got all these beautiful blessings and the beautiful memories we had with them when he was actually giving darshans in the Sai Kulwant hall. So just coming back to the letter story, we graduated, went to college, finished everything, got married, came to US, all of that. Long story short, one day I wrote a letter to Swami, and it was pretty intense because I was actually in a real problem. Not like, hey, can I get a 90 and A grade in math or A in bio, but it was real situation, like a family crisis situation. And who else do we go to other than Swami? So I wrote a letter to him, and it was night 10 o'clock. I didn't know what else to do because in US I didn't think of faxing or anything. So I put that letter on Swami's chair in the altar room, and I said, well, Swami, when I come to do puja tomorrow morning, you would come and sit. So the conviction, I think, is what Swami likes. So you would come and sit, and when you're trying to sit, you would notice the paper, and you would pick up the paper and read the letter, and then you would provide me the solution. So that was my thought process, and I put it on the chair, and I went to sleep. That night I had Swami's dream. The vision I had was Swami was actually coming out of his Yajur Mandir to give darshan to the people sitting in the Kulwant hall. The hall was packed with all the devotees waiting for his darshan. And he suddenly looked at me or in my direction where I was having this view, and he lifted his angi, the beautiful way that he does. He lifted his robe and he said, Abba, I have to talk to you first. I know I read your letter. And he came back. And when he did not give the darshan, but he was coming back to talk to me about my problem that I have mentioned in the letter. At that moment in time, even in that dream state, what really I think overwhelmed me was the love of Swami. I'm an insignificant person if you compare with so many devotees and so many people doing their tapas and japa and sadhana. What I am doing is I think is negligible, right? But out of his infinite grace, in the dream, he gave me the vision of saying, oh my God, I am not giving darshan to thousands of people sitting there, but I'm coming to talk to you about the problem that you have written on the paper. It was again a validation for me, but still there's a, monkey mind, right? So I wrote Swami letters continuously for 7 years, and this is very distinct because Monday through Friday when I go to work, when I'm starting my laptop, I would take a paper from the printer and I would write a letter. And it's like, dear Swami, pranams to your lotus feet. We are all safe with your blessings. This is always my first paragraph. And second paragraph would be, giving him an information as to what happened in my previous day, as if he doesn't know. And every day, Monday through Friday. Okay, he knows what happened on Monday, but I'm going to write the same thing on Tuesday. And the last paragraph would be expressing my gratitude to him and asking for blessings to whoever comes to my mind and praying for them. And then it will be yours loving or me, you, whatever the signature, Usha Shree. This continued for 7 years. And one day Swami came in my dream and he was like sitting in his chair and I was at his feet. And Swami was reading my letter. And it is funny because I believe in recycling. And this is one of the papers that, when you're printing something in the office, it has a cover page with your, employee ID or whatever. So I would flip that and I would write it because I didn't want to go waste. So he was holding it like this and he was flipping through. So I could see my, employee ID and I could see my handwriting. And he was holding it like this and he says, you write every day, I read every day. And in English he said this one. He said, you write every day, I read every day. Same matter, no change. And he was making the face also, like no change. But still, I read. So that
so
really touched me. But still, again, I wanted to verify what he was saying was right. So I went back and I looked at probably 6 months or 8 months back, whatever I wrote, and it's the same content. He was right. Right from the salutation of saying, dear Swami, up till saying, yours loving, Usha, same content, no change. He's always there. And my way of communication is and always will be through letters. So I just wanted to share that experience with you. Sorry.